All right, what's going on, friends? In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about how to install this edging. This is just a little piece. Now, I bought this edging at Lowe's. You could probably get this at a Home Depot or maybe even order it off of Amazon if you want. Now, this came in I think it came in a 60-foot length. I'll put it here on the screen. If I'm wrong with that, I'll look that up. But I didn't even plan on making this video, but along the way, I learned a few little tips to how to put this edging in, especially if you're trying to put it along stones, these like little round stones like I got, and you already had your rocks in place and you want to pull your stones back and put this in. I'm going to show you a few little tips that I learned along the way. And even if I did put it like out in the front of my house here, I'll show you I have some mulch, which I have to go buy mulch and I have to buy some extra stone now, but the mulch is pretty simple to put it in front of. The stones was a little bit more of a pain in the butt, but I'll show you some of the tips I learned on how to maybe help you get through that if you have this kind of stone around your house and you want to put this edging in. And if you don't know it, people will put this in because this is the piece I bought from Lowe's is like 4 inches from here up to this rounded piece. And if you put that down in like that, it's going to help so your grass doesn't keep growing into your stones or into your mulch. That's why people will do that, so I don't have to keep edging this every single year. But I just got this put in, and I'm going to go over all these different tools I used, and I'll tell you why I used them. And I have one little section I still got to do. It doesn't look as nice as this because I need to buy some more stones, and my dogs kind of got my yard messed up in that section. But I'm going to go over there and talk about all these different tools that I have, and hopefully this will help you out. All right, first thing you're going to want to do if you buy like a 60-foot roll like I bought, or even a shorter roll, it doesn't matter. You're going to want to unroll that and lay that down. If you have a blacktop driveway, probably best place is to lay it down in your blacktop driveway. If you don't, I recommend laying it out in your yard and then put something on top of it to try to help keep it from trying to roll back up on you when you're installing it. So I rolled this out and I had it sitting in the sun for a couple hours while I worked on my edge. All right, now this is the one little spot that I still need to do, so I'm going to go over a few things here. All right, I have a little shovel. I have a hammer with like a straight claw. That I'll show you what I use that for. And to cut it, I did use my tin snips a little bit, and I just used my utility knife most of the time. And you might want a tape measure just so you know how much you got to buy. It's going to be nice when you go try to do the straight spots to have like a string line. I took this string line and I stretched this out straight, and then I took my edging shovel, which you have to have. Most likely you're going to want an edging shovel. The string line helped me stay straight. I stretched this out and then I used my edging shovel, and I didn't cut right next to the string. Like here, I had my string line stretched out. Here I'm probably not going to use it. I'm just going to go along this. But if say I had that string line stretched out and then I went down, maybe say I went about maybe like an inch away from that string line. That way I didn't keep messing my string line up, and cut down in. This is my new tool I bought when I was at Lowe's, and I bought this really small little rake. At least that's what I call it. This really came in handy when it came to pulling some of these rocks back. And I used my big garden rake too. But the little one worked nice when it comes. I'll show you what I use that for. It's not as easy to show you here. Like I said, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I took this rake, and if you have stones like this, it was easy just to pull these stones back. Even when some of them were in the grass a little bit. Pull that back, and I ended up going along trying to pull some of this grass out that grew into it. But that worked really good. And I did that along the whole thing where my stones were at. And where the mulch is at, I ended up pulling the mulch back with this rake. You're going to want to pull your stones back or your mulch back before you even start doing your edging. All right, I'm going to go along here, and you can watch me a little bit do this edging, and I'll talk to you a little bit on at least how I did my edging. Now, like I said, the stuff I bought from Lowe's is about 4 inches from the bottom here to right here at where this rounded part starts. So I try to do my edge I made mine about 3 to 3.5 inches. So this was down in. And if I don't, just so I don't forget to tell you, this piece here goes toward, will go toward your plants. Let me pull some of these stones back and I'll show you how I do this edging. You definitely should have some gloves on too. I have a spade shovel. I also ended up using this pick a little bit. I'll show you what I use that for. But you might not need that, as I found my hammer worked pretty good. Just this little small little hoe, that definitely helped. Maybe something to protect your knees. And then I had these little spikes I used, and these little these stakes that I bought with it. All right, another thing you might want to have is some really thick-soled shoes on, or some boots. I had to go change out of my sneakers. I think I'm going to start here. Normally I probably would just start at the end, but I just want to show you how I use some of these tools. That's what, when I use this shovel and I have stones, it's really hard because some of the grass grew up into there, so there's still stones down in here. There, that one went in good. Sometimes I was able to just drag this along to rip them stones out. But you're going to want to cut that down in about, like I said, 3 to 3.5 inches. See if I can get some of this dug out. All right, this is something that seemed to help me a little bit, taking my hammer sometimes, if you have stones anyway, and dragging it right along there. It ripped all them extra stones out. See, I already got this right here down, yep, 3.5 inches. That would work right there. So I just got to get this along this whole thing. Now, even if I get that trench down, it's probably nice to try to get some of this junk out, because it's going to just grow weeds in it. So I got to try to get some of that junk out, and I'll replace it with some nicer stones. I did try using this pick to run that along there. Kind of the same thing I did with my hammer. So maybe if you like that, that helped out too. But like I said, if you just have mulch, it's going to be a lot easier. You won't have to work through all these stones. I'll show you what I use the hoe for. Just want to get this dug down. This is probably the only tool I haven't showed you so far. This one worked nice for... I ended up using this little hoe like this. Not like this, but I put it up like that. And I was able to drag that along there and then scooped out all this dirt. I also used a bucket. When I scooped out my dirt, put it in this bucket. That helped me make sure I had the 3.5 inches that I need. Looks like I got this whole section pretty good now. Oh yeah. Just a little more. bucket. But that's how I ended up getting this ready to put that plastic edging in. So let me get the rest of this, and maybe then I'll try to show you a little bit about the plastic edging. And I'll show you right here in this one other clip on how I connected them together if you need more than 60 feet. All right, when you get to the end of one, you're going to use this little piece that comes with it. If you got these at Lowe's. Maybe some of the other ones come with this. I have seen where on some of these they'll cut this top off and then overlap it some and then use this top piece to connect it. But now another thing is I did end up right here where my downspout goes through. Kind of feel like maybe I should have cut this back some and then cut a little chunk of this out to go over that. I don't know, I'm just being picky maybe. This has got to go here. That. And I was able to cut this with a utility knife. Try that. Ah, that looks better. Perfect. At Lowe's, where I bought this edging, I was able to buy these. I don't know, it came in a pack of maybe, I don't know, 8 or 10. And they weren't very cheap, but I have some of these at my house. So maybe if you could find something like this at Lowe's, they did seem to work. These are, I don't know what you call these, maybe a spike or something. They're like 6 inches long, but I ended up using a bunch of these too. These do stick better because they're longer. So if you can find these that are a little longer, that might be cheaper. So that's how you connect them together. All right, I think I'm just about ready to put my edge in. This is how it come out. I'll take you around and show you. I got some stones down in there I gotta get out, but I just gotta get that edge in there. I seem to have a little spot here. It looks a little high, so I can take my hammer, just drag it along there. Get that dirt out of my way. Yeah, I think I got it. Oh, perfect. I'm gonna try to start with one of these spikes here. Put this right here. All right, I think that, I called that a spike. I think I'm gonna start with one of them stakes there. It's a little longer. I want some good stones just to put down in there. And the stones will hold it there. Like I said, I need to get some new stones. Looks good. One of them big spikes there. I think I'll use these stakes the rest of the way. Now, I put these in on the other side, maybe like I kind of watched my edging. If it looked like it needed one there, I put one in, but I tried to keep the spacing maybe every 5 foot. That's what I did. This stake's a little closer definitely than 5 foot, but this is my last section I have, and I have like 4 stakes left, so. When I pound that down in there, I'm going down, I'm putting it in like this with that piece up. I don't know if that matters, but I'll go down a little bit on an angle. Maybe, I don't know, almost, I'm going down about that much of an angle. I don't know. Go, perfect. Looks like right about there. Kind of works nice to take your utility knife and shove it in and push down. There's that part. And this top part's a little harder. There we go. There we go. There we go. Good. That's good. One more. All right, well, I hope some of the tips I give you in this video helped you with installing your edging around your landscaping. If this video helped you out a little bit, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button to help support my channel. God bless, and have a great summer.